All right guys, how's it going? So this is going to be the separate video that I made to the ARM mods that I did in the previous episode. I did all the mods to support the Stage 2 Plus MHD. That included the downpipes, the intercooler, the charge pipe, and a few other miscellaneous stuff like inlets and outlets. And on my first test drive, I was having issues with the car breaking up at high RPMs. It was only when I floored it in about third gear and up, even sometimes in second gear, I would feel it as well. But on wide open throttle, it would really start to stumble at about 4,000 RPMs. As you can see in this chart right here, I actually did a data log. You can see right around 4,000 RPMs, my low pressure fuel pump drops below 50, actually way below 50, which it's supposed to stay at a minimum of 50 PSI. I'm hoping that doesn't have anything to do with my high pressure fuel pump. I'm hoping it's just with this low pressure fuel pump. But anyways, we're gonna do an upgrade today. Here's the stock pump. I've already pulled it out of the car. It was pretty simple to do. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube of how to do that properly. This just pulls off and there's a few connectors down here, nothing too crazy. There's also this plastic clip that just undo that just keeps the whole assembly together. Not really needed. You could honestly pull this off. Before our upgraded pump, we have the Walbro 450. Just bought this on eBay from a reputable seller. So you can see all the information right there. TI Automotive, that is Walbro. And that is the pump. Here's everything that comes in the kit right here. Again, I'll link all this down below. The sock and the connector comes with some tubing and some butt connectors as well, which we're actually not going to be using that tubing or any of that. And that is because of this piece right here. This is from BMP, or also Precision Racing. They put their logo on here as well. But this is actually going to be an adapter for BMWs that use this quick disconnect fitting right here. And the bottom here will actually go into your Walbro pump. So we'll pull the end off right there. As you can see, it's a barb fitting. Now the way this works is you slide this down in here, and there's actually an O-ring inside of here, and you'll pretty much just screw this on. We'll screw it on, it'll start to get tight, and you can actually get a wrench on here and get it really tight, but really no need for that. I know a lot of people like to do different little fittings and stuff, but I just wanted the ease of install here, so I spent about 30 bucks on this, I believe. And here is the part number, if you guys are interested. As you guys can tell right there, it's from BMP, but it has the Precision Racing logo on there. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and put all these new parts and stuff aside for now because we need to focus on the old pump. So looking at the old pump here, you have your level sensor, which is this right here. These, you can actually just pry these tabs right here, and you should be able to pop this whole thing off. The green cable right here is just wrapped around, so you can unwrap all of that. This black part right here just organizes all the cables, just tidies everything up, making sure no cables or anything gets stuck down in here. Really not needed, but I'm gonna try to salvage it. As you can see, you can kind of see where it's glued in right here on these tabs. You pretty much heat this up, get a screwdriver in through here and pry this off. So we'll go ahead and do all of that, and then I'll show you guys what we do once we get to the pump. So this, like I mentioned, should be able to pull these tabs. There we go. Just like that. Pretty much pry these tabs right here. You push them this way and it unclips this. So we'll set that aside. I'll grab our heat gun. And this has been sitting for about a day. I try to blow all the gasoline out of it, but the only thing I'm worried about is the sock that's in there, that yellow sock. It seems to be dry, but I'm not sure. Try not to get it too hot. Try to get this hot enough to where we melt the glue. All right, there's one tab. Looks like we got two more. Wow, all right. So there's all of that. Let's see, we still got all of our tabs on there. They left a little bit of the black left, but I guess we can kind of leave that there anyways because it's going to go back in the same exact spot. So now at this point, we need to do the same exact thing for this piece that's actually holding in the pump. Yeah, that sock still smells like fuel. Little concerning to do this because I've had my fair share of brake fluid and other things exploding in my face with heat. I'm gonna kind of tuck this sock out of the way because it does smell a little bit like fuel and I don't want it to catch fire. But anyways, let's go ahead and get to work heating these up. All right, so I was able to get our bucket all cleaned up. I actually repaired that little crack as well. Not really for fuel to leak out, but mainly just for rigidity. Tested it and no water or anything leaked through, so that's weather tight sealed. I may be kind of picky here, but I actually wanted to use rivets to mount everything back together here. Most people use zip ties, but the issue I was coming along with the rivets was I'm not exactly sure what materials they're made of. The ones that I have, they were sticking to a magnet, but they can also be made of a little bit of zinc and other stuff as well, which isn't going to work with ethanol if I do want to run E85 in this. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with the nylon zip ties, which is E85 resistant. So what we're going to do here is put our pump in just like that and slide it down all the way. Just like that. And now we can throw our sock and also our fitting onto this pump. All right, I forget which way this actually sits, but this is actually a swivel, so it seems pretty stiff. I don't think it's going to leak at all. Pop these little caps off. They just prevent anything from getting inside the pump when you're doing all this. So now we'll throw the sock on. Probably want to rotate this in a spot where the sock sits the best. A lot of people, though, actually cut holes at the bottom of here, making this basically a bucketless system. But I want to keep it bucketed. Okay, now that I have that pretty much sitting where it was before, I'm going to drill the holes for the zip ties. And for the sake of just holding this, I'm just going to put that zip tie in there temporarily. I'm going to take it out at some point because I want to get all of the nylon out of this bucket. After we got that done, we can pretty much put the upper part back together. We're going to do the same way with zip ties. Now I'm going to pull everything out and get everything cleaned up on the inside again. Got it all clean, so now it's time to assemble this for the final time. All right, there we go. That's pretty much it. I'll go ahead and assemble the top part here. Now we can put back our float, which is right here. And these just get routed back in these little holders here. Brown and red one will go on the side with the spring. And so that is actually the one with our Walbro connector. So there is that. And this piece will get routed up in there in that little hole. Just keeps everything together. Now we put it all back together. Just like that. And all of our connectors and everything are weather sealed, so that is good. The only other thing is this right here that I'm not exactly sure where it would want to sit, but for right now I think I'm going to put it just right there on the back. But we'll see once we put that in the tank. As you can see, all the zip ties and stuff are right there and holds it pretty snug. But anyways, that's pretty much going to be it for the main part of this video. I'm going to show you if this actually fixed my issue. So we'll go ahead and install this and see if it actually works.